Black Americans don't run shit in America. You don't own or control anything in America besides your mouth.
If it wasn't for us, you would have never got that job. If it wasn't for us, you would have never got into Harvard. If it wasn't for us, you would have never got into Yale Medical School. If it wasn't for us, you couldn't have married that white girl, although I wish that was a law we never fought for. If it wasn't for us, you could have never lived in that suburb. If it wasn't for us, you would have never got the scholarship. You see what I'm saying? So you literally are building your life off of the blood of my ancestors.
They are not good people is one of the first things that my mom was told when she came to this country.
If you have to kick your men out of the house just to get checks from the government because you are too lazy to work, I can never be jealous of you.
Most immigrants are coming to this country for a better life or to chase the American dream, right? But there's a people in this country who has not experienced that.
Why does this keep happening? Why do we keep seeing immigrants, especially black immigrants, come online and talk down on black Americans? What is really behind it? Is it ignorance? Is it insecurity? Is it something that they were taught? Or is there a bigger agenda pushing this division? I'm an African myself. I don't understand why some immigrants, people who are dark-skinned, who also come from histories of colonization and struggle, feel the need to use disrespectful rhetoric toward black Americans. It doesn't make sense to me. So I want us to look at it. Let's watch these clips carefully. Listen to the arguments. Listen to the disrespect. Then at the end, I will come back and then we talk about it properly. Let's get into it.
If you don't have a blue passport, I would never be jealous of you.
If after 400 years of slavery, gentrification, redlining, lynching, black codes, all you have to show for it is a blue passport, I can never be jealous of you. If you have to kick your men out of the house just to get checks from the government because you are too lazy to work, I can never be jealous of you. I mean, that is why you're raising these two black boys on your own, right? Too lazy to work, but too proud. We can never be jealous of you. Speaking of kids, if 90% of black kids are raised by black mothers and most of them turned out gay, most of them turned out pookies, ray-rays, sexy reds, we can never be proud of you. If you make up most of the CPS calls, Child Protective Services calls, come from the black community, we can never be jealous of you. Speaking of the men, if your men make up for most divorces, right? And for some reason, make up for most stepfathers, we can never be proud of them because that means they'll rather take care of a white man's kid than take care of yours. Because guess what? Black kids are overrepresented in foster care. And guess who adopts these kids? Whitey people who are LGBTQ, HDMI, PS5, right? We can never be jealous of you. If your men would rather spend 24 hours slanging dope at the corner store of a 7-Eleven rather than holding down a 9 to 5 to support their families, we can never be proud of you. If you have $1.7 trillion of spending power and still live on food stamps, we can never be jealous of you. If you have $1.7 trillion of spending power but choose to let your kids get into the school to prison pipeline because you want to be stingy instead of putting them into proper schools, we can never be jealous of you. I guess what I'm saying is, if you make up 13% of the population and 50% of the crime, we can never be proud of you. We can never be jealous of you. If you lost most of your land after you were set free from slavery, we can never be jealous of you. If for some reason you're the only group of black people with no borders, no currency, no culture, no language, no tribes, we can never be jealous of you.
I would never respect an opinion from somebody who had to move, hop, skip, and jump countries in order to succeed in life, ever.
Let's face it, right? If you did a little bit more of moving, hopping, skipping, and jumping, you will not look like a Michelin tire. You will not look like big bags because, let's face it, if you are the smallest, but for some reason, the most obese black community on the planet, we can never be jealous of you. You could use a little bit of that moving, jumping, and skipping. You're out here looking like Oompa Loompa. We can't see your neck bone and you can't see your toes. Your big bag probably got belly rolls. Like, what is this? You know the purpose of migration? A lot of you moving back to Africa now. Let's face it, you probably can't afford it because you were flexing a blue passport, which is one of the easiest to get, don't even cost that much. And guess what? A lot of countries use blue passports. A lot of Africans have multiple blue passports. So let's face it, if your value as a black person in 2025 lies on the paperwork the white man gave you, we can never be jealous of you.
You don't know our struggle. Watch your mouth. Because if it wasn't for us, you would have never got that job. If it wasn't for us, you would have never got into Harvard. If it wasn't for us, you would have never got into Yale Medical School. If it wasn't for us, you couldn't have married that white girl. Although I wish that was a law we never fought for. If it wasn't for us, you could have never lived in that suburb. If it wasn't for us, you would have never got the scholarship. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you literally are building your life off of the blood of my ancestors, and got the audacity to turn around and insult the blood that gave you an opportunity to thrive in this nation. That's disrespectful. Although we are all African, there is a tendency for some of our African immigrant brothers and sisters to push a false narrative that they work harder than us, when we're the reason you got a chance to work at all over here.
Exactly. Right? We opened the door for the work to even get done.
We opened the door.
It was harder opening the door than it was doing the work.
You didn't shed blood for the rights that you have. We shed the blood for the rights that you have.
We came here to hustle, bro. The same reason we go to France, Britain, Germany. We go to hustle. We don't care about you. See, we learn your history out of courtesy. Out of courtesy. You guys still walk around thinking Africa is a country full of mud huts and mud cookies. You have no courtesy, no respect to learn other people's history. And you think we came here because of you? Shut your dirty black behind up, idiot. Talking about if you hate black Americans so much, why come to America? Did we come here for you? No. Did Africans come here for you? Did Caribbean people come here for you? Idiot. Listen, you are just upset because black immigrants that come here don't want to side with your degeneracy. They don't want to side with your ghetto behaving asses. That is why you're upset. We don't want to be pookies or railways. We want to work hard. And you're upset, right? You're upset. Talking about, but the white man gave you everything. That's right. Idiot. Did the white man not give you HBCUs? Did the white man not give you PPP loans, EBT, Section 8, civil rights? They gave you everything. Even your admixture was co-signed by your massa, talking about Africans come here but they hate black Americans. No one cares about you, bro. See, we just don't care. Nobody hates you, we just don't care. The problem is, you want black immigrants from Africa, the Caribbean, to fear and respect you just because your ancestors went through slavery? Look around. We all did. We all did. Do you see people of Congo oppressing black Americans because they went through what they went through? You want everyone to fear and respect you because of what your ancestors went through. No, that does not give you a pass to be ignorant. No, Emmett Till does not give you a pass to be ignorant. Nat Turner, what happened to Nat Turner does not give you a pass to act ignorant. You are acting degenerate right now. Do the black British people act this way towards you when you go there because their ancestors were enslaved? Do they do that? Do the ones in the Caribbean act this way towards you because their ancestors were enslaved? You think you're special? No, you were special educated. Shut boss people, idiot. Everything your ancestors fought for, you have given away. Everything your ancestors fought for, you have given away. You are not even replicas of your ancestors no more. You're Timu versions of Malcolm X. You're Timu versions of Malcolm X. You are not even... Idiot. Painful.
I don't think Africans should be calling themselves black. We have the most genetic diversity in the African continent, and we're reducing it to a skin color. That's a mockery of us as an African peoples. I would rather us call each other with our tribes, actually, than with our skin color. Like, it just bases us all to one level when there's so much to learn from us. Our history, our traditions, our spiritualities have been lost because of this. And I know it has a lot to do with American influence, but that is not our story, especially for the Africans who we've been here all our life. Yes, we can empathize because we've all gone through some form of colonization, slavery, being segregated. But especially as a Kenyan woman, I think we should focus on us. I think we should focus on not integration yet with the larger society, but integration with ourselves, understanding of ourselves and our culture. Yeah, that's.
You don't hate the white man. You don't even fear them. Because if black people hate and fear the white man the way they hate and fear each other, you would all have left this country at the end of slavery.
Left this country and go where?
Go where?
Yeah.
Where did the Jews go to? You know how many lands in Africa was offered to African Americans through the Black Star Line project? It was funded by a British through Marcus Garvey and Kwame Nkrumah, the Black Star Line. Did you go? No. How did you get the Amerigo-Liberia culture moved back? 3,400 people only agreed to go to Liberia. What do you mean where to? Plenty of land everywhere. Where did you come back from? How about the Caribbean?
See, that in and of itself.
But I'm not saying it
Hold on, Frank.
I'm not accusing.
You can clearly see the difference between the Americans and the Africans. All 5 of those women were absolutely beautiful. Let's start there. Now, you can clearly see the difference between the Americans and the Africans, okay? This isn't one of those posts where, oh, Americans this, Black Americans this, African. No, that's not. No. It's clear to see that we're not the same, and that's okay. Okay? It's clear. Online discussions of, oh, Africans do look like African Americans. African Americans look like Africans. No, the fuck we don't. We don't. We're not even the same ethnicity. We're not. As clear as day. You saw the 2 Black women. When I say Black, I'm talking about the Black American women. And then you've seen the 3 Africans. Clearly all different phenotypes. But the American women stood out the most because they look like I do. Okay? There's a clear difference in our DNA, in our ethnicity, and that's okay. It's up to you, the rest of the Africans, to just accept that we're not the same, and it's fine. Are we part of the same group as being Black people? Yes, 100%. But a Japanese is not the same as a fucking Chinese or a Taiwanese or a Cambodian or a Filipino. They're all Asian, but they ain't the same. Ask them. So why is it that when Black Americans make that separation and say, no, we all Black, but I'm American, you're African, or Gambian, or Zimbabwean, or whatever. Why is it a problem when we do it?
Prosperity and health, my beloved brothers and sisters. This sister here is talking about what her mother experienced as an immigrant coming into America from Somalia, that even Africans are told to stay away from African Americans or Black people because Black people are not good people and commit a lot of crime. So a lot of times you have these poor immigrants who are really reliant on the system and the people who work within the system to help them understand how to maneuver in this new country. And these people are helping them with shelter, food, clothing. They're really reliant on these people. And the people that are helping them are telling them to stay away from Black people. Even some are told that you'll get all the help that you need as long as you don't associate with Black people. This is something that as a community we need to understand, especially when dealing with those who come from Africa. We have to understand that they're being told to avoid us, and that may be why some of these conflicts, or that it looks like we don't get along, Africans and Black people in America don't get along. The same I've heard Jamaicans say, that they're told when they come here that Black people are lazy and don't want to work. And so they tend to carry on some of that attitude. So my suggestion to resolve that is for us to be as hospitable as we can to our brothers and sisters who are immigrating into America, and to show them who we are
and how great we are, how loving we are, and to counter what they're being told when they come in. It's sad, the same system that says that this is not a racist country, then turns around and everyone who comes to this country new, they indoctrinate them with racism against Black people. So just keep that in mind as you're dealing with our brothers and sisters who are new to the country and who may not fully understand this system and that it's set up against all minorities.
Just listen to the video.
I do have this conversation a lot with Africans or even just Caribbean people who will often look down on Black Americans. Number one, they will say they lazy, they ghetto. I've heard African parents tell their kids not to date African American men, not to marry them, things of that nature. What are some negative stereotypes y'all heard about Black Americans from your parents, from your friends?
You literally said it all.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Right.
Like my mom would tell me not to marry an African American.
Yeah.
Right.
She says it all the time.
Even when I hear like African parents say that, it very much sounds like the same rhetoric that a white person would tell their kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't marry that Black guy. Like, he's ratchet, they ghetto. It's crazy to hear other Black people have that type of rhetoric towards each other.
Most immigrants, if not all of them, they all fell for the okie doke. Let me tell you why, right? Most immigrants are coming to this country for a better life or to chase the American dream, right? But there's a people in this country who has not experienced that. They've been disenfranchised. They have their communities and their schools defunded. They've been abused by people of authority, police officers, politicians making laws against them for no reason at all, just to fit into the buddy club, right? So if you're an immigrant coming to chase a better life, and you come to this country, and mind you, it's a benefit, it's a win-win situation, because you're going to be able to go to school when you come to this country. You're going to be able to send your children to school. You're going to be able to open businesses and possibly build some kind of wealth you would have never experienced in your home country, right? If you speak to an African American, they're going to tell you something negative. They might get in the way of what the government has planned for you. So the government has been destroying their image to all immigrants, because no matter what, Haitian immigrant, Caribbean immigrant, whatever it may be, Chinese immigrant, Russian immigrant, everyone has been told the same story by who I don't know. The Black people, they're lazy, they're violent, they're this and that. When the Black people don't even have the ability to tell their own stories, because their image is owned by the media. The media puts them as gang members and drug lords and all kind of things. So they're at the behest of whatever the media says that they are as well. So immigrants come here adopting this mindset that the African Americans are lazy, worthless, and violent. And it's funny because like the white immigrants can't tell the difference between a Caribbean and an African American. So in all reality, they're just against Black people, period. And then the Caribbeans is just against the African Americans. And it's funny, I remember when I was growing up, I went to school, junior high school, in a white neighborhood, right? All of my Chinese friends used to always tell me, hey, my parents found out we walk home together, or whatever the case is. You know, I'd be in a lot of trouble. My parents found out that you were smarter than me. I'd be in a lot of trouble. And I'm like, I remember I used to ask them, like, mind you, this is a white neighborhood. Their parents and them live in this white neighborhood. I used to ask them, do your parents work in a Black neighborhood? Do they work with Black people? These are first generation Chinese people. So they don't. They work in stores and stuff like that. They don't have no career path or nothing like that, but they're still letting their children know, stay away from Black people. Don't do nothing with them. How do they know? What interactions do you have with Black people? None. But somebody's telling them something. So to wrap it all up though, the immigrants have this bad mindset to African Americans while making money from the African Americans, while being able to enjoy rights that the African Americans fought for, while having their stores in African American communities and Black communities, and being able to send their children to school because of them. But yet they fall for the okie doke. While they're benefiting from them, they'll still have a bad mouth against them, saying bad things about them. But we know that that's just like a dissociation, because none of it is true.
How many people on this app are cool of just dissing Black Americans, of just negating our contributions to the development of the United States, of our culture, etc. And so I want to make this video, and I guess maybe the video could be like a caveat, maybe it could be informative, but I hope that you extrapolate something from this video. The privilege that many come here and take advantage of, it came at a price. That price was blood. The price was the turpitude and the tyranny against an entire people in this particular country. And so when people come here and they automatically want to defecate on black culture, or they want to juxtapose themselves and say that, hey, I'm not a black American, I am Nigerian. I am not a black American, I am Ghanaian. I am not a black American, I am Haitian, or I am Jamaican. They want to make these lines of demarcation as if the black American is absolutely the lowest thing that you can be culturally. We're the most uncouth, the most uneducated. And people are so comfortable doing this, and even from groups of European descent. So if we're looking at America as a tapestry of culture, if we're looking at America, theoretically that is, as a family of an amalgamation of different people coming together, we will acknowledge everybody's contribution, except the contribution of black Americans. And like I said, I'm not a person that subscribes to the fictive pseudoscientific concept of race, because I don't believe in that. But I do understand that these constructs do hold real world consequences, and they are significant. So often these lines of demarcation, we do this because we want to prove that we're not of the uncouth African-American black culture, the uncultured culture, the culture that really has no culture. So we make these lines of demarcation. Or if you're from European descent, you want to be on the side of mainstream culture to often castigate and be critical of black America. And if you don't realize that black Americans have culture and we contributed significantly to the growth of American culture, you're being historically ignorant. So to my immigrants that are seeking a better life, when you come here to take advantage of the privileges and conveniences, know that those privileges and conveniences were facilitated by the free labor and exploitation of black Americans for over 200 plus years. So do not be so quick to diss black Americans, say that they have no culture, if you do not understand that fact. Because the conveniences and the privileges that you're able to benefit off of do not exist without the labor of black Americans. Be historically sound. Peace.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm leaning on the side of black Americans here. Not because I hate immigrants, not because I don't respect Africans or the Caribbeans, because myself, I am an African, but because a lot of what we just watched was straight disrespect. And I can't pretend that it wasn't. You heard the tone. You heard the language. It wasn't just we are different. It wasn't just we have our own identities and tribes. It was stereotypes. It was body shaming. It was repeating crime statistics like they are personality traits. That is not identity pride. That is putting another group down just to lift yourself up. And here is a part that really gets me. A lot of immigrants go to America chasing opportunity, and that is real. People leave their countries for a better life all the time. Whether these immigrants want to admit it or not, black Americans have paid the price. The price for the freedoms that exist in America. The ability of these immigrants to go to certain schools, to live in certain neighborhoods, to work certain jobs. It wasn't something that happened suddenly. And when immigrants arrived decades later and benefit from that access, at the very least, there should be respect. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that black Americans are perfect. There's no community which is perfect. But what I saw in those clips from those immigrants was not constructive criticism. It wasn't even tough love. It was, we are not like you. We are better than you. And I think that mindset that some of these immigrants carry is rooted from the same narrative that many white Americans have pushed for many years. We saw a Somali lady in the clips who said that her mom was said to stay away from black Americans. That is not random. That is how the system keeps people divided. You tell every new immigrant that those people are lazy, those people are violent, don't associate with them. And over time, that narrative will stick. And we keep seeing these new immigrants, these black immigrants, keep repeating the same old narratives that were used to oppress black Americans in the past. And for many black Americans, for many foundational black Americans, the use of that narratives is very painful to them. Because instead of seeing black Americans as people who fought and endured, some people keep seeing them as the bottom of the ladder. And I'm sorry, but That is upside down. The same media that painted black Americans as criminals is the same media that many of these immigrants consume after arriving in America. So they go to America already biased. So let's talk about that. We came here to hustle argument that we saw in the clips. Cool, hustle, work hard, build businesses. But doing all of that does not require disrespecting another group. You can be proud of your grind without saying that we don't care about you or repeating harmful stereotypes. That is where it crosses the line. And when black Americans respond emotionally, before we start saying, here you're being sensitive. But imagine being constantly told you have no culture, no history, that everything you have is dysfunction, that your struggles don't matter because everybody went through slavery, and it ignores the very specific history of black Americans in America. Black Americans aren't Africans, they aren't Jamaicans, they aren't Haitians, they are a distinct ethnic group in America. I saw clips where some Africans were saying we are not the same, and that is fine. You don't have to erase your tribe, your nationality, your roots. But you separating yourself from black Americans does not mean superiority. Doesn't mean that you are superior than these black Americans. You can say that you are Kenyan or you are Nigerian without implying that black Americans are lesser than you. So if you are a black American and whenever you're watching these clips of these immigrants and you feel disrespected, I want you to understand that some of what these people are saying is out of ignorance, out of misunderstanding. Some of the disrespect that they have was taught, not born. But no matter the situation, respect still matters, because without respect, we keep seeing people of dark skin color repeating the same circle that was designed to divide them. And honestly, we should be smarter than that. I know that this is heart-touching to many of y'all black Americans. And I also know that not all immigrants believe the same ways as those who are featured in the video. So what I want you to tell me is your own opinions down in the comment section. And also remember to like the video, share, comment, and subscribe for the future episodes. Mr. TA is signing off. Ciao.